More fun words, folks. This time they all begin with the letter N. Convenient way to organize things. Has any of you ever heard of a knick-knackatory? By the way, it's not K-N-I-A. It's just N, right? But obviously knickknacks came from that, and somebody added K. 18th century term for a toy store. Yes, they had toy stores. 18th century. Warm up for Toys R Us. A neotrist is an inventor of neologisms. Neologisms are what? Anybody care to define neologism? Yes, give it a shot. Give it a shot. Break down log, the root, and neo. Yes. It also means word. Logos is a word, right? New words. Yes. Yes. Okay. Shakespeare is credited with inventing over 1,700 words that found their way into the language after him. Probably the greatest single author's contribution. Nonagenarian. For some reason I stumbled over that word. Anybody have an idea on this one? Someone who is in his or her 90s. We have octogenarians in their 80s, septuagenarians, 70s. I've never heard sexagenarian, 60s. I mean, there's nothing really all that remarkable anymore about someone in his or her 60s. Then, of course, we have centenarians who are in their hundreds, and I don't hear that being further broken down by decade. Nuncupative. Nuncupative, pertaining to an oral, it's a legal term here, will. Last will and testament spoken before witnesses. Nystagmus. Nystagmus. Rapid involuntary oscillation of the eyeball. Little spooky to watch somebody having one of those episodes. Nubile. You also hear nubile. Said of a young woman who is patently, which means obviously, marriageable. Then we have nonage, which might sound like something to do with nonagenarian, but actually nonage is the condition of being underage. Nescient. And the noun is nescience, not nescience. It's nescience, which means, take a guess at this one. Ignorant, absolutely. You can derive the etymology, I think, pretty straightforwardly there. Naufragious. In danger of shipwreck. That's a naufragious boat. You don't want to get on that boat. It's coming to an end one way or another. In one violent storm will probably sink it. Nidify is to build a nest. I'm sorry. Did I? Thank you. So I did. Nosocomial pertaining to hospitals. Remember last week we talked about iatrogenic diseases caused by physicians. However, inadvertently, you're going to have the same pathogenic conditions in a hospital if personnel are not observing strict rules of sterility. Numerate. Again, make the sign for the short A. It's not numerate. Okay. Yes, last week we also had innumerate, didn't we? That's one of our words. So by extension, this would be someone who is competent in the execution of mathematical operations. Literate, illiterate, numerate, innumerate. You see how it goes. Nihilism, a 19th century revolutionary movement in Russia, went hand in hand with the rise of an anarchist movement there. Got quite violent at times. All right, so number 12, the problem is with A. What do we need instead of U? What do we need? Come on, guys, you put this on the board. We talked about gerunds. Don't we have to have possessive forms of pronouns to modify them? Yes, because we have to have adjectives modifying nouns. And gerunds function as nouns, so that's, for all practical purposes, what they are. And the only part of speech that can modify a noun is, go on, an adjective, right? Okay, so unlike the objective and the subjective cases of pronouns, the possessive case of pronouns functions adjectively. So we've satisfied the condition. So the word you want in A is your. You're becoming. Number 13. The issue here is with D. We've got a prepositional phrase, but it's not quite right. I have mentioned that you're not going to find anywhere, unfortunately, a comprehensive dictionary of prepositional phrases in English, but you need to take notes whenever you find one of these in your little pocket notebooks, so designated. All right, elected officials who are chosen to represent us citizens, that's correct, represent us citizens, so sort of added on there. When granted political power, feel nothing but disdain for, yes, disdain for the common people. Spaces are usually stocked with standard office equipment, comma, such as, you don't need any other punctuation. In fact, you don't have commas after phrases like such as, just straight across. Let me read it to you out loud so you hear it that way, okay? The spaces are usually stocked with standard office equipment, such as photocopiers. You don't pause. No little pause in there. Equipment, such as. No, you don't say that. Equipment, such as. So why is B a better answer than C? That's a tough one. I don't see any weakness. Does anyone have any suggestion here as to why C isn't as good as B? Any thoughts?
I think co-working spaces didn't give them 74% of their ideas relating to business. Just 74% people thought they got better ideas relating to business.
Yeah, but wait a minute. Look at the front matter of the graph. All right.
Yeah.
The graph wants to specific information supports the main topic of the paragraph. Perceived effect. So that's what the graph is all about, for everything equally.
Yeah.
Okay? So I don't see, yes, what's your suggestion here?
It's because in the section report says, blue sky color is and 71% say that it's color.
Yeah, but wait a minute. In the passage, the 64%, we are replacing that. In other words, they give you the option to keep it or to replace it with B or C or D. Okay, about the 64%, and that is not actually what's in the graph at all. It's the opposite. Okay, the graph says that only actually 8% had a negative impact, not 64%. 64% said numbers that did finish things on time. Okay, yeah.
Doesn't the 74%, isn't it supposed to refer to the respondents themselves and not the ideas generated? For example, 74% said that they had positive impact on ideas related to business, rather than 74% of their ideas for their business came from code.
We need to ask you know what? I think we're splitting hairs here. I'm not seeing a distinction there, and that's why I have an issue with this. I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong. Okay, because that appears to be a correct statement, and we have not discovered in our little conversation here a reliable metric for saying no. Clearly, B is better than C because I don't think it's possible to say that. I know we've taken various stabs at it here, but I'm not satisfied that we've done that, given what the graph is set up to show. Okay, so again, you guys managed to expose a problem with the way the questions structured. Good for you. However, that's not terribly helpful when you're taking the test and you're caught between the proverbial rock and the hard place and making decisions. Just remember one thing when that situation arises: don't waste time. You reach a certain point where you're not seeing clearly, you've got to flip a coin, put one of them in, put the question mark in the margin, wait until you finish and go back and revisit it. You may have a eureka moment. Allow that to happen. And if it doesn't, just leave your answer, maybe the right one. Okay?